and welcome to day 8 of the 12 Days of Christmas here on Wandering Wild. Today, we're going to be talking about those 8 maids in milking. Now, the question is, what were those maids milking? Cows, of course. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. Now, of course, there are many different breeds of cow. There are dairy cows and beef cows and things like that. So we're just going to talk about them in general, and I'm going to give you some fun facts about our friends, the cow. Cattle, or more colloquially known as cows, are a large form of domesticated ungulates. Now, these can be raised for many reasons, such as dairy or milk, or for beef, or even for draft purposes, such as pulling carts or plows. Now, most people believe that cattle were the first form of wealth, and therefore stealing cattle was the first form of theft. Now, the word cattle originates from the Anglo-Norman word cattel, which in turn comes from the Latin word capital, meaning a sum of money or property. So basically, cattle originally just referred to a form of movable property. Cattle even replaced the Old English word feo, which meant property or cattle, and actually that's where we get our term fee in our common English. Now, over the years, cows have been pivotal to almost all societies. Even the Hindu society, which finds cows as sacred, so they don't use them for milk or for meat. Now, this means we have a lot of terms in which to describe each and every specific form of cattle. So I'm going to give you a quick run through, and more than likely this is even how our maids milking were describing their cows. So first, if you have an intact male, he's called a bull. And if you have a female that's had at least one calf, she's called a cow. Now, an adult female who has not had a calf is called a heifer. All the young, both male and female, are referred to as calves. And then any adult cow or cattle that's used for draft purposes, like we talked about earlier, pulling carts or plows, those are referred to as ox or oxen for the plural. So it's not actually a different species, it's still just cattle. Now in the U.S., if there's any cattle that's not claimed or branded, which is a way of claiming your cattle, it's called a maverick, kind of like a free spirit. And then finally, a castrated male is referred to as a steer. Now, the term bull, cow, and calf is not just used to describe cattle. It actually describes many species, such as whales, hippos, camels, elk, and even elephants. Now, as you've probably seen, cattle are large quadrupedal mammals with cloven hooves. And they also have horns, so these horns can range from as large as the Texas Longhorn to as small on a skir. Now, cattle have 4 compartments to one stomach. So many people say that cows have 4 stomachs. That's not technically true. They only have one stomach that has 4 compartments, and often these are referred to as stomach 1, stomach 2, stomach 3, and stomach 4. But technically, they only have one stomach. Now, cattle need about 4 hours of sleep a day, and they have a stay apparatus, which allows them to lock their muscles in place, and so like horses, they can enter a light sleep while standing. However, if they want to do more deep sleep, which they need, they're going to lay down. This also kind of debunks a very common myth called cow tipping. No, you can't actually tip a cow by pushing it when it's asleep. I hope you enjoyed day 8 of our 12 Days of Christmas. As always, my sources are found in the description box below, and if you liked what you saw here today, subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and check back in tomorrow for day 9. And as always, stay wild and never stop wondering.